It is back to school season, and I don't think it really matters how old you are or whether or not you are still in school. Everybody sort of has this unified feeling and sensation of getting back at it, right? Starting over, starting fresh, starting something new, getting back to work, basically, getting back into the swing of things, really trying to get into a routine, right? A good routine, a productive routine, making a difference, making progress towards something. Everybody sort of has that unified idea of that. I think that for me, for the longest time, I would always set these intentions for myself when it was back to school season, when I was actually going back to school, especially in college. I would always set intentions for myself that were always very high pressure, very big, very much so putting the pressure on myself to prove myself in some kind of fashion. And it was always to somebody else. It was never to prove myself to myself. It was always to prove myself to somebody that was probably not even paying any attention to my effort. That wasn't, they didn't care whether or not I succeeded. They didn't care what I was doing. They didn't care. But I was setting an intention for myself every single year of, I'm going to show so-and-so just how good at this I'm going to be. Or I'm going to show so-and-so, how great I am. Or that they shouldn't have said those things to me. Or that I'm worthy. Or that I can be successful. Or whatever it is. It was always it always trailed back to, I'm going to show someone. I'm going to prove myself to somebody else. So what are your intentions for this back to school season? Whether it is that you are going back to school, right? Maybe you're in high school, maybe you're going to college, whether you're starting college, starting your freshman year of college, or whether you're going into your, upperclassmen years in college. Or if you are simply somebody that, hey, we're at the end of summer and I feel like I need to sort of kick it into gear again. Or maybe you're a parent and your kids are going back to school. Whatever it is, what is your intention? What is your intention for this season? What is your intention for this new season of productivity? This isn't just the season of fall. This isn't just the season of school. This is the season where, okay, we're not necessarily always looking for new ways to have fun. That's sort of what summer represents. Now we are getting into the season of, I'm going to make progress. I'm going to make some changes in my life. We're at the end of the year, so it's not those New Year's resolutions, but it's definitely a time of year when we really look back, we reflect, and we think, okay, what do I need to be doing before the end of the year arrives? So, what are your intentions? Today, I really wanted to go into some of the intentions that I'm setting for myself, but more than that, more than trying to show you what my intentions are, I really want to show you the idea behind my intentions. That's really my focus, is to show you the idea behind my intentions and also sort of show you the change in mindset that I have compared to the past. Like I said, in the past, I would always approach back to school or approach this season as, oh crap, I need to kick it into gear and I need to make some changes fast, and I'm stressed out and I need to prove myself, but I can't, and I haven't achieved this or that yet, so oh my word, the pressure was on. Every single year, the pressure was on. And that has changed. That has changed significantly for me in the last 4 years, but really in the last 6 months for me, is that just how I'm approaching life is completely different. The biggest thing, this goes back to the video that I posted recently, which is all about, that I don't need to be a big deal. That's been a huge lesson in my life recently, is that I don't need to be a big deal. I don't need to be the best of the best, the most, awarded. I don't need to be the person on the pedestal. I don't need to be the winner and, any kind of fashion. I don't need to be a big deal. And so along with that comes this new intention for my next season, for this season that we are entering, this back to school season. Instead of setting an intention of, I need to be the greatest, I have set the intention of, I'm going to follow what opens up for me, what opportunities open up for me, and I'm not going to be so strict with myself, okay? I think that is a huge thing that just really hurts us, is that we get this plan in our head, and we get this idea in our head, and this picture of what the perfect scenario looks like, this picture of what life needs to be, whether it is, your long-term goals, or if it's just, this is what this year needs to be for me. I know for a lot of people, it's your senior year. If you are actually going back to school, it's your senior year this year. And I know that for me, I always had really big intentions for my senior year. And college in particular, I had massive intentions for what my senior year was going to look like. But I graduated in 2020, and all of my intentions were completely, thrown in the garbage, basically. In the matter of 1 week, everything that I thought my senior year was going to be, the last 2 months of my senior year, everything I thought it was going to be was just gone. It was gone. And I was shattered because I had this set in stone idea of what the perfect senior year was going to look like, and of what everything had to be in order for me to be happy, in order for my senior year to be a success, in order for me to have the memories that I needed to have. In my mind, my senior year had to look a certain way. I had to go to JS. I had to go to these different events. I had to have the commencement ceremony. I had to have all of these things. And I didn't get that. And I was shattered, and I mourned, and I grieved that loss for a long time. And it's only been in the last, I'd say, 3 months that I realized I'm not in college anymore, right? I actually sealed that. I closed that book finally. And I realized that I had kept it open for so long because my senior year hadn't met the expectation and the intention that I had so rigidly set for that year. And so this year, that's changed for me. That's a lot different for me this year. And that is because I'm looking at this next season, this back to school season for myself, as a season of, okay, you know what? I have my goals, absolutely. I have the things that I want to do, absolutely. But I am looking at it more from, I am taking incredibly aligned action. I've told you in recent videos that I really realized that I have this need. For me, my ultimate priority for my life right now is to write and publish the book that I've had on my mind for the last 10 years. That has been on my radar for so long, and that has been my priority for so long, and it is something that I've ignored and that I've brushed off because there were other things that I thought I needed to be doing instead. And so for me, a big thing is, okay, that's my goal. That's my priority right now, is I need to be writing. And so this season is, okay, you know what? I'm going to make time for writing. I don't know what the next 4 months look like for me, 4 to 5 months look like for me. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know where I'll be. I don't know what opportunities are going to come my way. I don't know what's going to happen. And there's something so beautiful about that. There's something very beautiful about that, because instead of looking at the next 4 months as the time for me to be cranking and to be just striving and working so hard and catching up and trying to, oh my word, I need to be at this point before the end of the year. Instead of the next 4 months feeling like that for me, I'm looking at the next 4 months as a time of freedom. I'm going to allow life to come towards me. I'm going to allow success to come towards me. I'm going to allow opportunity to come towards me, because I am simply going to be taking action that I know I need to be taking. Not the actions that people tell me, hey, you need to be doing this. This is what you need to be doing in order to be successful in 5 steps. That's not what I'm doing. And I'm not setting these rigid standards for myself as far as, oh, you need to be at this point by this time. I'm not setting those standards. I'm not setting those intentions. My intentions are very much so, this is what fulfills me. My intention is, I'm going to be doing things that fulfill me. I'm going to be taking action. I'm going to be moving forward in ways that fulfill me. Not in ways that people tell me, this is what you need to do. I'm going to take action in ways that makes me feel satisfied, that makes me feel accomplished, that makes me feel like, okay, you know what? I've made progress. I've been productive. I've done the things that I need to do, and I feel good about what I've achieved and what I've accomplished. Maybe I don't have, this major success according to society's standards, but I have success according to my standards, because I did this, and I worked on this, and I made a lot of progress in this area of my life. And another way that I'm really setting my intention for the next 4 months, a major thing that I am doing for the next 4 months is just cleaning up my life, right? I think that there's always sort of, you get to the end of the summer and you've had a little bit of extra time because, schedules, they're busy, but they're also sort of looser. It's just this really weird mixture of time, right? What is time during summer? And I think that a lot of us, I know for me in particular, you get to the end of the summer and you sort of think, I've sort of let these things slip here. I'm really slacking in these areas of my life. And so I've sort of set the intention that I'm going to be very mindful of my life, whether that is mindful of my finances, mindful of my health, mindful of different choices that I'm making, mindful of career moves that I'm making. I've also told you here on my channel that I'm a virtual assistant, and I feel like I really need to lean into that in order to sort of open up and allow more time for me as a writer. Okay, to be a little bit more flexible and just a little bit more open to different things. And so I'm really leaning more into that and trying to figure out ways, okay, how can I find more clients? But once again, going back to my previous point, I'm not approaching this effort from a place of, oh man, I need to have this many clients by this date, and if I don't, then I'm a failure. And no. I'm approaching it from a place of, I'm just taking aligned action. And I'm super chill, and I'm not freaking out. Okay, that I think is a major theme in how I'm setting my intentions for the next 4 months is stop freaking out. Stop being so desperate. Stop needing these things to be this certain way. And instead, allow your life to flow. Allow yourself to flow through life instead of having this death grip on this is what this needs to be. Open that up a little bit. Because I know that for me, in all of the times that I have arrived at this back to school season, the fall months, everybody's favorite season. I know it's my favorite season. Every time I arrive at this season in the past, every time I've gotten to this point in the year, I always start panicking, and I always start rushing, and I always start feeling like, oh my word, all the things that I said I was going to do at the beginning of the year, I haven't done them. I haven't achieved them. And perhaps it's not for a lack of effort. Perhaps it's not for a lack of trying. Perhaps I have been trying my hardest all year long, and it just hasn't happened. And so I would go through the fall months and into Christmas feeling like this panicky, desperate, rushing, grabby, clawing, just desperate person trying to achieve what I set out to achieve at the beginning of the year. And what I realized was that, number one, the last 6 months has taught me that what I thought I needed to achieve at the beginning of the year was really not the case at all. What I thought I needed to achieve by the end, by December 31st, things have changed. Things have changed, as they should. Things should always be shifting and changing and adjusting. We should be tweaking our plans and tweaking our goals and tweaking our path constantly. And so, first off, what you are finishing the year out with is probably not going to match what you started the year out with. And that is correct. And that's nothing to freak out about. It's nothing to panic about. I realized that so many of my intentions were based off of how I felt other people expected me to be living my life. I realized that so many of my intentions were made out of this place where I thought, oh, so-and-so expects me to be in this place in my life, and I really don't want to disappoint them, so I don't want them to look at me this certain way or say these things to me or think these things about me, so I have to achieve this. I have to be at this point in my life. And the truth of the matter is that you don't need to be anywhere in particular. You don't need to be anywhere in particular. You don't have to live in a certain place. You don't have to have a certain career. You don't need to make a certain amount of money. You don't need to be in a certain kind of relationship or anything like that. You need to simply be where you are. I think that what really sets you apart from everybody else is how you are making the effort to move forward. I don't think that the thing that sets you apart from everybody else is what you've achieved and whether or not you have achieved your goals and your intentions. That's all great. But what sets you apart is your willingness to keep growing and to keep moving and to keep improving, and how resilient you are in that. I think that that's something that's definitely set me apart from other people, and that people actually compliment me on, is that it's you are different. You know what you don't want to be doing, you know what you don't want to be doing with your life, and you make sure that that's not how you live. You're constantly growing, and you're constantly improving, and you're constantly looking for new ways to get better in your life, whether that's physically better, whether that's mentally better, spiritually better, emotionally better, financially better, whatever it is, you're constantly looking for ways to improve. And that is what sets you apart. That is what sets you apart from other people. That is what sets you apart from the rest of people in the world, because nobody has made it. Even the people who have technically made it have not made it. They have not arrived. Nobody has arrived. And so the difference between you and everybody else is that you know that you will never arrive. And you know that life is just this process of constantly improving and constantly growing. And you can either be really pissed off about that, or you can lean into it and find a way to enjoy it. And so that's the place where I'm setting my intentions from, is this place of, I just want to keep getting better, and I just want to keep improving and creating more quality, and I just want to live my life out of a place where I'm content, I'm fulfilled, I'm happy with what I'm doing, I know I'm taken care of, I know I'm okay. That's what I want to be operating out of. Not out of this place of, oh, I need to have this much money by this time, and I need to be in this kind of career and living this kind, that's not where I'm putting my intentions. I'm putting my intentions in a place where I want to be improving and I want to be content there. Things are not perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect. Life will never be perfect. And I'm aware of that, and you're aware of that. But you can always be improving. You can always be tweaking your life. You can always be making small adjustments here and there and making changes that you need to make in order to improve your life. And so set your intentions from that place of, I just want to keep doing better. I just want to keep doing better. Perhaps you're not going to be the all-star and the best of the best at anything, but you're going to keep on doing better. You're going to keep on improving. So that is sort of my take on this back to school season. Let me know if that's where you're from. Let me know if that is really the place that you're at right now, is in this place where, man, I'm under so much pressure and I want to do something different. I want to approach this next season different. Let me know if that's where you're at, and let me know sort of what your intentions are for the coming season and how you are going to improve, what you're going to improve. Because I think that everybody wants to improve in different ways. Everybody has different things that they're wanting to improve and grow and tweak and adjust in their life. And so I'd really love to hear what you're going to do and how you're going to improve your life. So comment those down below, because I'd love to hear what you have to say and just sort of stir up the community here a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below to stay in the loop with my future uploads. I love you oh so very much, and until next time, so long.